How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Meister Rreviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of Milkshake. There you go. Milkshake, hopeful goodness in the form of Czig Meister Brewing's. It's their Deep Sea series. It's their New England style series, Galactic 7. Now, they made this beer non-milkshake, but decided to do a milkshake version of this. The first time they're doing a lactose-based IPA. So I'm super excited to give it a whirl. Yeah, I've done a couple of these from Czig Meister, and I've enjoyed their journey into the IPA realm. It's not a brewery that has made a lot of New England style IPAs, and they've been kind of banging them out as of late, and I'm digging it. Let's put it that way. Each one is markedly different, and I believe they're getting much, much more tighter and better. But, you know, throw the little curveball of a milkshake in there. Who knows? So, as far as what it says in here, like I said, Czig Meister Milkshake, New England style, Galactic 7, Deep Sea Series, New England style IPA. That's a lot of words. 7% alcohol by volume. Story time, nope. And that'd be that. Label-wise, it's pretty much a Deep Sea Series, except that touch of kind of pink purplish on there for the milkshake. And letters. So there you go. Let's give it a whirl. Yeah, Czig Meister is essentially my new hometown brewery. As you can see, I am in new digs here. I'm not in the massive beer review worldwide studios. I am at my new place, which is about 10 to 15 minutes away from Czig Meister. So I've been there quite a bit. Just ended up interviewing Matt Ziegler, the owner and head brewer there, and a couple of the staff members there for my podcast. So go check that out. But yeah, as far as this beer goes, Pinky Finger, off-white head, and it's getting not even khaki. It's more like kind of like a tannish kind of color. Kind of rings with the color of the body, which is a rich haziness, but it comes off more of like a washed-out caramel, kind of butterscotchy in color, as opposed to a more kind of vibrant, kind of golden in color. So a bit more of a butterscotch vibes off of it. And yeah, not too bad. Looks do not a beer make. Not that it looks bad, but see what the nose has to offer. You get big, huge wafts of like a overly ripened kind of melon, cantaloupe, a little bit of kiwi, a little bit of kind of papaya, kind of tropical fruitiness. But there's also like an overripened citrus thing with a lack of acidity in there too. And so it's like a citrus, tropical fruit, overripenedness. You definitely do get a bit of that lactose vibe in there too. It's like, it's not vanilla, but it's very close to vanilla, to the point where you can actually like be like, okay, I get the milkshake vibes in here. It's like a fruited kind of trifle-y kind of thing. How many people have trifle out there? I don't know. It's an English kind of like whipped cream fruited kind of thing, and that's kind of like a, if you did a tropical citrus trifle kind of thing, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting off it, as opposed to a milkshake. It's very similar noses, but obviously they drink and eat totally different. But yeah, it smells nice. There's a little bit of bitterness in there too, nondescript, but it's nice to know it's there. Let's dive in. Cheers. It's pretty tasty stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. It's dense. It's a good thing, especially for these milkshake beers. It's kind of make sense in the head. It's got this dense creaminess to it. It's got this really nice bittering to it too. But you get, in this, I can't love enough, you're getting a nice, healthy dollop of that kind of lactosey sweetness, but it's not ever getting close to too sweet. That's the kind of the trick, I think, with a lot of these milkshake kind of IPAs and stuff like that. Either they're not sweet enough, there's not enough lactose, or there's too much. There's a lot, but it's not even close to being too much. So that kind of nice level where that kind of lactose is falling is pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, that fruited component is still kind of medley-like, and it still has that kind of overly ripened kind of fruitiness, where it's lost. Some of it's kind of characteristic, but you're still getting that fruity sweetiness off of it. But then you get that kind of bittering that is, I mean, it's going to go green. You're going to lean green on it, but it's more of kind of a generic kind of bittering. But then that lactose ties it all together. And like I said, it's big, but it's nowhere close to being too big, especially for its density. It all kind of makes sense. This is a pretty good milkshake beer. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of times, like I said, people do these, and they end up either, you know, being way too sweet, or being not too much, not enough lactose, or being kind of thin. I think the density of the beer, how dense it is, combined the way the flavors come off, it just makes sense. I dig it. I think this is, not that I drink a ton of milkshake IPAs, it's not my favorite style of beer, but this is probably one of the best ones that I've had in recent memory, at least. I mean, I can't, you know, Tired Hands, Omnipolo. The first one I had from them was the Omnipolo side of things. It's absolutely fantastic. Again, it was one of the first ones I ever had. So, you know, your palate changes and shifts with time. And some of the Tired Hand stuff, not that I drink a ton of them, because they're coveted beers and I don't really covet them, so I don't find them all that much. But they're tasty beers. They're nice. But I don't remember them having this kind of impact on me. And if they have, they either end up being a little bit too sweet or a little bit undersweet, like I said. For me, this kind of lands pretty perfectly with that balance-wise. Yeah, that's good stuff, actually. I dig it. And that's, you know, Czig Meister, man. I dig the brewery. I love going there. I love taking my dog there, but, you know, I've had some misses from there. I've had some hits. They actually made one of my favorite beers of all last year. Their double barrel aged Dark Sovereign, a Belgian. It's absolutely fantastic. But there's been other beers that have really been kind of a miss for me. But they make so many different styles of beers. If you actually go and listen to the podcast I did with them, you know, they have run that kind of Allagash style of mentality to where they kind of let everybody who works there brew. So they end up having, you know, when you go in there, could be anywhere from 10 to 25 different kind of beers available on draft. That's pretty unheard of for a brewery that's only been around for about 2 years. And to actually kind of jump into the hazy IPA game, which they didn't do for quite a while. The head brewer and the owner, Matt, brought in someone that was a little bit more kind of in tune with these kind of beers, and to go from kind of just starting those beers several months ago to now doing something like this, which everybody covets and doing it so well. I dig it. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better milkshake IPAs that I've had as of late. That would be an affirmative. It's tasty. It works for me. The way everything's kind of balanced off. It's delicious, tasty. I dig it. Value and availability. I think it was $18 for a 4-pack. I think it might have been 16. I'm pretty sure it was 16 actually. In that case, dude, $16. Even 18. That's market, less than market value. Now, it should be a little bit too high, but the way the market is right now, it's lower than what you typically see, especially for a lot of these kind of milkshake IPAs. So kudos to them. I don't know if this hit distro or not. I know a lot of their beers do, but I picked this up the day after it released. I had several cases left, so it's not like something you have to wait in line for. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like milkshake IPAs, you like them done well, because that's what this does. Tasty stuff, delicious. I dig it. If you like, you know, your Tired Hands and all those other breweries that are doing similar facsimiles of that, I think you dig this, because there's just a really nice balance to it. And yeah, it's just a tasty beer. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Type in Massive Beers into Google if you want to check me out doing other stuff on the social medias. Type in Beer Massive, MASSIF, if you want to check out the podcast where I interview Matt Ziegler from Czig Meister and a bunch of other brewers. And there you go. Another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice milkshake IPA right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.